Hi guys, welcome to the show. We're talking about how are we losing our minds or have we lost them? We're talking about a lot of things today. I'm going to go over it a little bit. So we're going to talk about Paskey. I never pronounce her name wrong. Right. We're going to talk about getting our kids out of public schools because there's something that you should see that's going on. This mom came to the school about, and we'll watch that video. We're talking about this Taylor Lorenz doxing the libs of TikTok person. We're talking about pronouns. Can using the correct pronouns save a life? We're talking about polycules. I don't know if you know what that is, but I learned that today. And we'll finish up talking about Disney and how they might have stuck their foot in their mouth a little bit. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. It's going to be a lot. I did a lot of notes, as you can see, a lot of work for tonight's show. And you know what? This subject just keeps going on and on with me because I know you guys know by now. I am extremely passionate about what's going on with our children. As a mom, as an auntie, as a person, human being in general, what's happening with our kids is disgusting. And I will continue to talk about this because not enough people are. And it's getting ridiculous. So let's start this off. Okay, so Paskey, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. And then we're going to watch the little video of her crying like a little baby girl. So she's talking on this podcast or an interview about how, and she's been doing a lot of interviews lately because she just got a job at MSNBC, right? So she's got to get ready for her new job. And hi Mom, I just saw your comment come through. So she's kind of prepping herself to be a part of the liberal media. And she's talking about this the bill that was enacted in Florida, which is not the Don't Say Gay bill. It doesn't say that. It says nothing about that in the bill. And the fact that these people keep reiterating this is A, they either have never read the bill, or B, they're trying to push this agenda along without caring about being truthful, which we already know this. But she talks about how all kinds of things. So let's watch the video and then I'm going to discuss it with you.
This is a political wedge issue and an attempt to win a culture war. And they're doing that in a way that is harsh and cruel to a community of kids, especially. I'm like going to get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But you know, it's like kids who are bullied. And like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families. And you look at some of these laws in these states and it is going after parents who are in loving relationships who have kids. It's completely outrageous.
Okay, first of all, nobody is bullying anyone. This doesn't perpetuate bullying in any way. Nobody is going after these families. It's clear what's going on here. So yeah, okay, there's a tiny fraction of children who suffer from gender dysphoria. But the facts are that 75 to 90% of those children, if they're not pushed and pushed into a certain area, they will get through that. They'll grow through it. They'll get through it. Like kids that are girls that are tomboys and everything else like that. You know, it is something that happens. It's a tiny fraction of people, but what's happening right now, sorry, my thoughts are a little bit jumbled today. What's happening right now is parents and school teachers, not all of them, obviously there are some wonderful teachers out there, but everybody, the media and parents, are coaxing and encouraging these kids into being non-binary or transgender. They're being basically Munchausen by proxy into thinking they're members of the opposite sex. And if you don't agree with that and you don't want these kids to be indoctrinated and you don't agree with that and you don't think that they should be pushed into this, then we're the bad guys, right? And we're supposed to be okay with them teaching our kids in the classroom. We're supposed to be okay with them indoctrinating our kids and talking about sexuality and sex and all this stuff, sexualizing our children from kinder to third grade. And if we're not okay with it and we support this bill that simply says you cannot teach our kids about this stuff, it's not supposed to be in your curriculum at this age, then we're the bad guys, we're the bullies, we're the evil ones. It's just, how are we the dangerous ones? And honestly, what's frustrating the most is that how much she's lying. She is lying, you guys. She's lying about the fact that this is a don't say gay bill. She's lying that this is dangerous. We're not bullying anybody. And the last thing we want is the government sponsoring a program that endangers and indoctrinates our children. And this administration, honestly, I believe this administration, if they had it their way, they would set it up to where if your child had gender dysphoria or some sort of gender confusion, then you would be forced to allow them to take hormones and do all these surgeries to trans what is it called? I can't think of the word. But you would be forced to allow them to change their gender. And I think that's the way this is headed, and that's scary, you guys. I just, it really bothers me about how these people these people, meaning everybody, freaking out about this Florida bill, how they are taking it, twisting it, and lying. And most of them probably have not read the bill, because it does not say anywhere that you're not allowed to be gay. It doesn't say anywhere that you can't say gay. It doesn't say anywhere that kids in families of two fathers or two mothers or what have you can't talk about their families. It simply says that in kindergarten to third grade, you cannot teach children about these things. I don't know about you, but I firmly believe that our kids at that age and even beyond should not be having conversations about any sexuality. Nobody should be talking about their sex life with these children, let alone that age. And I mean, as teachers, you're supposed to be teaching math and science and all these things that are going to help them learn and grow. You're not supposed to be teaching sexuality. And I wouldn't even want anybody of any sexuality teaching my child that. No way in heck. So it's crazy that they're freaking out about this, and it makes you wonder why. Somebody says, reading, writing, and math. Yep, absolutely sad but true, and resisting would be called child abuse. Exactly, and that's where we're headed. Because I can see it. I can see the road, and that's where we're going. We're just digging further into madness, you guys. I wanted to talk about also, so there's this video that I saw today, and we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to try to talk about it as we watch. And if I can't get a word in, because some of it's a little bit hard to hear, if I have a hard time getting a word in, I will talk more about it after. But to set it up, basically this mom is talking to the school board in Texas about this curriculum, and it's in 4th grade. This happened in 4th grade, so remember that. And let's start this video, and we will, hopefully I can get some words in while we're watching it. But listen closely. It's actually terrifying what she tells them that her 4th grader is learning.
I'm going to explain to you the book that
and warning, it's graphic language, guys.
I pray you are a man of your word. Last week I asked my children if I could check the books that they picked up from the school. My son picked up this brand new book from the shelves in class long boy. He was under the impression it was about a kid that ends up at the beginning mowing the grass at Disneyland.
So he picked up a book, her kid.
Turn around. On page 19, not that it really matters in 4th grade, at a church youth group meeting out in the bushes, I touched Doug Goebel's dick, and he touched mine.
In 4th grade, this book talks about a 4th grader touching another boy's penis.
What if I told you I touched another guy's dick? What if I told you I sucked it? I was 10 years old.
My God.
But it's true. I put Doug Goebel's dick in my mouth. I was in 4th grade. It was no big deal. He sucked
No big deal? What the fuck? Sorry, guys.
174. I don't know if I made sign for this one. Yeah, I did. He talked about old times at the church, but never mentioned our penises, or the fact that he never said 10 words to me after our little foray in the bushes. Not a single reference to holding or tugging or sucking dicks. All I could think about while he was chatting me up was his little salamander between my 4th grade fingers, rapidly engorging with blood.
Oh my
Page 230,
gosh.
I didn't think so for this. Why won't you admit we sucked each other's dicks? We shared a Hershey's bar, then you showed me your dick. The next thing I know, it's in my mouth. We sucked each other's dick, and you're pretending it didn't happen.
This is in a
What
book
sort of diversity?
talking about a
are you
4th
intending
grader
to
that her
teach
child was
my
able to pick
child
up.
with material like this?
At the
In addition,
school library,
I'll
you
show the
guys.
exceptional quality of vocabulary. I stopped counting on page 66 after 44 bucks and 41 shits.
Oh
The
my
quality
God.
of content on the shelves in our schools cannot be mitigated with policy EA. At this point, I need you to know that according to policy FFH, hold this one please, local sexual harassment is defined as unwanted sexual advances, sexually motivated
You can
verbal,
stop
nonverbal
this because
conduct
it
or
just
other
continues
conduct
to go
or
on and
communication
on and
of a sexual nature when the
Oh my gosh, you guys. It makes me so, like, I'm literally in tears over this. This is a book in the school library, and the mom says that, if it says somebody said you kept losing video, so I'll describe this. So basically she's saying that in this book, this child, this 4th grader, is describing how he went behind in the bushes, and him and another boy or man, I couldn't tell, and I will try to find more information about this for you and post it later. But they were talking about touching and sucking and doing sexual things to each other's private parts, and how it's no big deal. And he would give me a Hershey's bar, and then I would do it, and then I would do this and that, and it goes into disgusting detail. And it's just, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse until we start and continue to stand up against this crap. It is getting so bad, you guys, and we have to do something about it. We cannot keep allowing this stuff into our schools. And yes, pulling our kids out of public school, that's one way to do it, but we need to fight what's going on, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the capability of homeschooling. Not everybody has the capability of sending their child to private school, and even private schools are not necessarily safe. And so we need to not only pull our kids out if we have the possibility, but we need to put our money where our mouth is and start fighting back. Go to these school board meetings. Go to these schools. Talk to the principals. Talk to everybody. Tell them that you're not going to stand for this. And talk to your kids. Be involved with what's going on, because this is outrageous. And I know this is not a one thing. This is happening all over the place. And it wasn't curriculum this time, but it was a book in their library. So it's obviously something they will be talking about. And the fact that it's even in there is crazy to me. You won't find the Bible in the library, but you're going to find that. One way that you can do this, if you saw in the video, there were a bunch of parents there supporting this mom, and they were holding up big signs saying resign for this, I'm guessing, school board superintendent or something. I'm not sure. It could have even been the principal. Again, I will find out more information about that. A great way to, I guess we're losing video on YouTube, so I'm sorry, you guys, if that's the case. Hopefully, we can, obviously this is all recorded here locally too, so if you keep losing video on YouTube, or go ahead and check it out on Facebook, and if it's losing it there too, just remember, we will post later. But again, there were big signs, and we have a great sign place that could help you make a sign for something like that if you need to go fight at your school board. And their Whitney signs, they're incredible. They make the most beautiful signs, stickers, pretty much anything. They do really great things on windows of businesses, and they're reasonably priced. They are kind as all get out. They are very, very supportive of this country, this town, our kids, and we just love them to death. So check it out. Okay, guys, so we are having some technical difficulties. So if you're not able to view this live, which it's looking like we're having some troubles, just be aware that we are recording locally and we will post this up. So if I'm not getting as much interaction as normal, feel free to still comment even if it's not live, because guess what? Myself and the boys, we look at those comments throughout the week and we will respond, we will answer, we will give you feedback. So if you can't get to us live, you can get to it later and we will still respond. It just might not be on the air. It might be via comment. So keep that in mind. So we're moving on to the next thing. And before we do that, I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. So the Keelan's Dogs sign I made, I did not like. So I'm starting over. So that's what I'm working on tonight. I wanted to talk about Taylor Lorenz. She was working for the New York Times. Now she has moved on to the Washington Post. Now she was saying she was hoping that she can continue her work, but in a more open, more exciting way at the Washington Post. They would allow her to expand on things. And if you don't know who Taylor Lorenz is, she's a crybaby liberal media journalist who does a lot of things that she talks negatively about. So there was, I do have a video I'm going to show you in a minute, but there was an old video that she was talking about that that she says she's so upset that this group doxed this other person who tried to remain anonymous, and they went and they doxed them and they told everybody who they were, and it's just disgusting behavior. It's awful behavior. It's dangerous bullying behavior. And then she's gone and done it to Libs of TikTok. And if you don't know who Libs of TikTok is, I'm going to describe a little bit of the stuff they do in a minute. But she cries and complains about being bullied on this video we're going to watch, and she's previously called out others for doxing who choose to remain anonymous, and now she's gone and done that, and she's done that to Libs of TikTok. So what she did to Libs of TikTok is she went to the homes of their family members, of the people they worked with. They found out who she is, where she lives, where she works, everything about her, and she put it, Taylor Lorenz put this in the Washington Post article. Look it up. There's a Washington Post article about Libs of TikTok, and she just throws everything out there. So let's watch this video of Taylor Lorenz crying like a little baby, and then I'm going to tell you a bit about what Libs of TikTok does and why they did not deserve this.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry. It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
Shut up. Like, sorry, but seriously, you can't sit there and cry about that when you just went and did it 10 times worse. And you're saying the worst people of the internet. You're the worst people. Like, you're the one out there doing this. So, to give you an idea, Libs of TikTok it's a lady who runs this, and I'm not going to give out any information, but she literally takes videos from TikTok that liberal leftist, like way far leftists, are posting, and she reposts it on YouTube and stuff, and Twitter. And she shows these videos. That's it. She just notices them and reposts them to show people the craziness going on. So they put the people who put the original TikToks out there wanted the information out there, but they're getting mad at somebody drawing attention to the information that's out there. Seems a little bit crazy to me. And now they've doxed her to the point where now Taylor Lorenz showed up on doorsteps to get information about this person. That is so intrusive, especially when she's wanting to remain anonymous for a reason. Like, it's just crazy. And so here's an example. I wrote down some notes because I watched the video, but I didn't have enough space to show you this video. So she shares TikTok videos. So this video I saw today, it was pretty crazy. It was a video from a non-binary activist and weirdo, Jeffrey Marsh, giving what I'm pretty sure now will become the official answer to what is a woman, that what is a woman question going around. So in this video, Jeffrey Marsh, he's a man wearing makeup and lipstick that is, in my opinion, definitely not his color. He's reading someone's definition of what is a woman in a snarky way, and he's really upset about this. So this person's definition is, what is a woman? X chromosomes and no tallywhacker. So simple, right? So he goes on to say, oh, yes, now I can talk about biological essentialism. And it was like really creepy the way he put that. So I probably said that wrong, but biological essentialism. And then he gives two examples, and he says, for one, people have all kinds of chromosomes and all kinds of bodies. And for two, gender is a hierarchy. He says it's a system of oppression. The easier it is to determine the gender, the easier it is to keep the oppression going. He says that it's dangerous. It's dangerous, you guys. Okay, first of all, people do not have all kinds of genders. Women have XX, men have XY. Now, there are a very small number of people that suffer from genetic abnormalities or deformities, and in those cases, the chromosomes might be a little bit muddled, but it does not change the simple truth that men have XY and women have XX. So a medical abnormality does not invalidate the principle, okay? For example, if someone was born with 6 toes, right, and you're going around and you know this person that's born with 6 toes, and then someone asks you, or a kid asks you, because they're learning about, the human body, how many toes are on each foot? You wouldn't say, oh, I can't answer that. There's no way to answer that question. No, you would say 5, because that's the principle. Just because there's some differences out there doesn't mean that the principle changes. The abnormalities do not invalidate the principle. And his second point, if gender is a system of oppression, then why aren't we getting rid of it altogether? The liberal activists are the ones that decided that gender and sex are not the same. So why not do away with this gender nonsense and stick to the sex of male, sex of female? They can do whatever they want, but there's still a male and a female. That's it. If gender is so dangerous and it's a system of hierarchy and stuff, then why are we doing it at all? Why are we separating it? We'll just stick to male, female sex, and that's it. And it's funny to me that these people who are the ones that came up with this nonsense are the ones that are claiming that it's a system to further bully and further show your privilege or whatever, however they put it. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, so I would love to know what everyone thinks of that, and I'm pretty sure we're not getting any comments right now because we're having trouble with our video. So please feel free to comment about this. Tell me what you think about all this stuff. There is much more that we're going to talk about. I would love to know what you guys think about somebody saying that not only is there no such thing as males and females having separate chromosomes and that there's no answer to that, but also that gender is a hierarchy when they're the ones that created the differences between gender and sex in the first place. I'd love to know how you guys feel about that hypocrisy, because to me it seems crazy. It seems like it's a big circle that just goes round and round and round and round and round, and we're never going to get off. We're on this little hamster wheel that's never going to stop, and as we keep going, it keeps getting faster and faster, spiraling us deeper and deeper into madness, and we're never going to be free of it. And until we say, you know what, I don't want to be on this hamster wheel anymore, I'm going to jump off, and we're going to stop, and we're going to look back and go back to the way things should be, and stop letting people drive us down this crazy rabbit hole. I've got much more to talk about. So there was this video I saw today, and this lady says that pronouns, using the correct pronouns, this is a teacher, I believe, saying using the correct pronouns can save a life. So let's watch this video, and then we're going to talk about it.
My state decided that it was a good idea to ban the use of the word gay in the classroom. Educators are not allowed to say gay in the classroom anymore. This is a life or death issue. Why do I say that? One of the most important statistics that I use in my curriculum when teaching anti-oppression, specifically about LGBTQIA issues, is 72%. You decrease the likelihood of a young trans person of wanting to commit suicide if all you do is use the proper pronouns for that person. 72%. You can save a life by using one, often two-letter word for a person. Misgendering someone can have them go on a spiral where they don't want to live anymore. And now we're not allowed to say gay, even if we are gay, even if we have an openly same-sex relationship, even if we're openly non-binary or trans. As educators, we cannot talk about who we are. We exist.
Okay, lots to say about this. And someone said, can you send me the video of the Texas mom talking to the school board? Yes, we can. As soon as the show is over, I will get it to whoever asked for that. But on the, Mary, yes, I will get it to you for sure. So on the subject of this, first of all, not allowed to say gay. They're still putting this in there. Misgendering causes a spiral. It's life or death. This is like doomsday verbiage. This is doomsday language, and this is a way to emotionally blackmail you. It's a way to emotionally blackmail you into doing what they want. There is absolutely no excuse for anybody of any sexuality to discuss this stuff with little kids. She either did not read this bill or she is continuing to push this agenda and lie despite what the bill says. The fact is that she is an activist that wants to push a political agenda. She wants to use government money, taxpayer dollars in Florida, to indoctrinate little kids. And she wants to do that and you not say a word about it. She wants to be open about her sex life for kids at kinder through third grade. Well, nobody should be open about their sex life. Nobody should be talking about this with kids. And the fact that they are using this emotional blackmail really bothers me. And her stats are not real. There's nothing out there that says those stats. Okay? I've looked it up. I've tried to find it. There's nothing out there that says the 72% of people are could be better off if you use the proper pronouns, especially in kids that age. Kids that age wouldn't even know about that unless you were teaching them and indoctrinating it into their lives. When I was a kid, I had no idea about anything about sex. And I for sure as heck didn't know that, or didn't think that playing with my guy friends turned me into a transgender child. It didn't. It just made me more interested in those things. And as kids, as little kids, we're still learning who we are. We're building on our personality traits. And these people are wanting to come in and take that and twist it and push them down a road of hormones that you can never take back. I don't care if you stop them. It permanently alters their body. And they want to throw them into all these things that's going to mess up their brain. The confusion is what's so dangerous for these children. They get confused, and then they get to a point where they intrinsically hate their own bodies. And they're being told to hate their own bodies, and that God made a mistake with them, and that they need to medically induce something different in their bodies. And if you hit them before, if you get this started before they go through puberty, their body is forever changed. I read a story about this girl who was basically she was having some trouble. She was having some issues, not feeling confident as a girl, and whoever was in her life led her down the path of, oh, well, that means that you should be a boy, and we're going to start you on hormones, and we're going to change your sex, and we're going to do all this stuff, and then you'll be happy, and then you'll love yourself, but your body is intrinsically bad. It's bad, and we need to change it. And so they give her these hormones and they do all these things. And then this mom is talking about how nobody told us that as a teenager, she's going to have a micro penis and that she's going to be in pain, physical pain and emotional pain, and that dating is impossible and everything's messed up. And the mom even said, if we had known this, we would have just let her be who she was. And, you know, if she wanted to date girls, okay. And it would have been a lot easier for her than it is right now. And that, to me, is just an example of this rapid jump into all this stuff that you don't really know about. You're not told the actual details of everything going on. You're not told what's going to really happen. You're just given this rosy picture of, well, if we give you these drugs and we surgically change you, then you'll be happy. In reality, these kids need to be taught that they're beautiful and wonderful and amazingly made, exactly who they are, and that they are loved without any question, exactly who they are, and that anything they're going through, they can work through with those who love them, and that they don't need to change anything about themselves because their bodies are perfect the way they are. That's what these kids need. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Somebody says they can talk all they want outside the classroom. Also, the stats don't support her statement. That's exactly it. They can. They're not saying that you're not allowed to be gay. This bill doesn't say that you're not allowed to talk about your families. This bill doesn't say that kids that are growing up with gay, loving parents aren't allowed to discuss their families. It doesn't say any of that. It just says that you are not allowed to teach transitioning and gender and sexuality, and that includes all sexuality. You're not allowed to teach that stuff to kids that age. And that, to me, I think is very reasonable. I would have gone higher up, older, if it were me. So, I still have more, but, well, maybe it is time. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so it's time for us to talk about another sponsor that we love so much. We loved Whitney Signs, and we love the Hitching Post. Valerie and her husband are incredible people who also love this community, who also love this country, and who also love children and protecting them. They also do a lot to help out the sports in our community, and Val has come on our show many times and is a huge supporter of our show. So let's check out her video. If you want some good pizza, go to the Hitchin Post. I just love her place. And you know what else is really fun there is you can, like, if you have kiddos, you give them a few bucks and you let them play with all the little games they have. They have those games where you can get stuffed animals and you can play little card games. It's so much fun. It's kind of like it has its own little arcade in there. She's done a really good job of making it super family friendly. And she also has, for me anyways, and for us, she always, alters it if she needs to for you. Like Riley, she likes her pizza with no sauce, and they, even though that's a very strange request, they oblige, which is really nice. So yeah, I can't wait till I see some of the comments. I know we're having trouble with our video right now, so I cannot wait to see some more comments come in, because I know this is a hot topic, and I know I'm not the only one that's passionate about this, that cares about what's going on with our kids. And the more I look at it, the more scary it gets. The more I find out about this stuff, the more passionate I get about being a voice for our children. And it has nothing to do with differences in beliefs. It has nothing to do with any kind of hatred for anybody. It has everything to do with our children have a right and they have a need to be kids, to not have adult problems on their shoulders, to not have this confusion that our world has now become on their heads at all. They don't deserve or need that pressure. And I'm watching children I know, children I love, children in our town, children all over the world getting thrown into this massive confusion, and this massive stress is on their shoulders, and it's changing them. It's changing who they are. It's changing how they feel about themselves. It's changing how they approach life. And I couldn't imagine being a kid right now and going through this insane twist of reality to where I'm in being put in a position to where I would hate my own body, or not know who I am, because I'm being told that everyone has all these things to worry about at that age. It's just, they deserve to be kids. I mean, remember your childhood, how fun it was to not have any of these worries or stresses to worry about. You just had to have fun and do your homework and listen to your parents, and that was it. I mean, life was so good. And now our kids have so much more that's being put on them. We need to stop it. Stop putting this on them. Stop allowing others to put this on them. Yes, homework sucks, whether you're a kid or adult. I agree with that. But if that's the biggest worry, go back to that being the biggest stress, okay? Homework. Not all this craziness. So while I'm looking into this stuff and trying to figure out, I'm trying to think like those that I don't think like. And I'm trying to figure out why everybody is so upset about this bill. And then I came across this video that is talking, it just shows the confusion. It just shows the panic. It shows the sadness. So this video is about a polycule. And if you don't know what a polycule is, apparently it's a relationship of a group of people that are polyamorous, and they believe in having more than one partner. So we're going to watch this video, and then I have some notes I wrote down about each person in this polycule. So let's look at it, and then we'll talk.
Hi, my name is Anna. I am dating everybody in the polycule. I am married to Jake. We've been together for 8 years and married for 3. I'm dating Spencer, and we've been together for 3.5. And I am dating Ellie, and we've been together just over a month now. I am bisexual, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm also in charge of this account and in general.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm married to Anna, and she's currently my only partner. I am demi-romantic, which means I only get feelings for people, like romantic feelings for people, if I've been around them for a while and get to know them really well. And I'm technically pansexual, but I like the bi-colors more, so I call myself bisexual. My pronouns are he, they.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm dating Anna. I'm not currently dating anybody else. I'm some flavor of queer. And my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Spencer. I'm only dating Anna. I'm bi, but like bi.
Okay, first of all, Spencer, blink twice if you need us to come rescue you. You look like you need help. You look like you're terrified. Spencer looks like he has no clue what's going on. And further in this video, Spencer is asked what his gender is, and he's very confused. He has no idea what's going on. He looks so lost. So Spencer, let us know if we need to send in a rescue team to get you, because that's what it looks like. Anna. Let's talk about Anna. Anna is the wife to Jake. And I had to write notes down to follow this, you guys. This is insanity. Anna is the wife to Jake. She's also the only one in this polycule that is dating everyone or more than one person. If you noticed, every single other person in this polycule is only with Anna. She also talks about how, we call that a slut. That's right. She also talks about how she's the one in charge. So it feels like Anna might have convinced everybody else that this is a good idea, but nobody else actually feels that way. She wants, this is how I feel about Anna. She wants to have multiple partners. She's convinced her husband that instead of her being never satisfied and a cheater, which is what she is, that this is just her sexuality and he needs to support it. Otherwise, he is a bigot, right? That's what I'm assuming, okay? This is my assumptions on Anna. And so she's found a way to get her weak husband to agree to this situation because he doesn't want to lose her. And he's also been pushed into this system of all these different sexualities and genders. And she says she wants to be in charge. Somehow she has managed to convince all of these people that it's a wonderful idea to do this, yet all of them are only dating or married to her, and she's the only one with more than one person. Everybody else is just with her. Yes, Jake, the husband, was the one with the ears. He's flipping his terms, pansexual, bisexual. He's flipping the flags, one or the other. He's not even respecting this or taking this seriously. How could we? What the F? What the hell was that noise he made at the end? Aha! Is like, what is that supposed to be? He expects us to call him that and respect his pronouns and respect his sexuality, yet he can't even convince himself that that's what's going on. To me, this looks like a man who is in serious denial that his wife is a slut and a cheater. And I'm not slut shaming. I'm just saying the facts of what I see in front. He's the one that is in denial that his wife is a cheater, and he's allowing these other people to come in and have sex with her and be with her just so he doesn't have to lose her. This is low self-esteem. This is someone who has been bullied into this because of all these keywords that they use to convince people that this is about accepting them for who they are. And if you don't, you're a bigot. And if you don't accept me, then I'm not a cheater. You're just a bigot. And I'll get to the sponsor in a minute. I just want to finish my thoughts here. Ellie, the wife's mistress, in other words, she's the wife's girlfriend who has only been with her for a month, and she's already in this polycule relationship, living together type of thing. I don't know what else to say about Ellie except she doesn't even know what she is either. She goes, I'm some form of queer. I mean, how are we supposed to take any of this seriously or respect this stuff if they don't even do it themselves? And somebody said, Jake wants us to respect his pronouns, but he can't even respect it himself. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. And then we get yelled at if we don't respect the pronouns. It's just, you can't have everything. You can't have everything. And the way I see all four of these people is they're all confused. They're all lost, and they're all feeding into this media frenzy that they're allowed to do and be and have sex with and feel whatever they want. If it feels good, it's good. And that is not reality. How does our society go on with this craziness? And how do we continue that? And honestly, they all look creepy with their eyes glazed over. They all look sad and depressed and lonely. This isn't people are acting like all this gender and sexuality stuff is new and shiny. It's not new and shiny. This is what the world was like before Christianity. And this is what the world was like before that. And now we're going back to this wildness, this craziness. Are you willing to throw away everything that we've ever known for this kind of craziness? Because I know I'm not. I feel like this is just insanity craziness. I'm saying that a lot, but it's just the way it is. So if you're like me, this really pisses you off, because it really pisses me off. And if you're pissed off and you want people to know it without having to have a scowl on your face, you want to be happy, but you want them to know you're pissed off about the state of the world, you should check out our Pissed Off Patriot line. Here's a video. Okay, so we've all been leading up to this. Now, this is a subject that I wrote front and back notes on, okay? So we're going to get through this. But it's about Disney. So now, Disney, we all know, has openly expressed, yes, that's a great, great visual for Disney right now. They have openly expressed their disdain for this bill in Florida. They've jumped into the political arena, into something that's none of their business, honestly. and have put themselves out there as not only pissed off and angry about this bill, which they obviously don't know what it's actually about, because if they had read it, they would know that it's nothing that they say it is. And if they do know what it's about, they're openly lying about it. They're not only that, they also, we've talked about in the last few weeks, about how they're pushing a gay agenda in their own words. They're sprinkling in queerness wherever they can in their own words, and nobody is stopping them. They want 50% of everything to become about transgenderism or homosexuality, which, you know, or LGBTQIA, all that stuff. And it's not about making good stories anymore for family friendly. It's about pushing an agenda. They've been open about it. All of this is their own words. This is not me. This is their words. And now it looks like Disney is the example of, if you play stupid games, you'll win stupid prizes. So, to give you a backstory, in 1967, Florida gave Disney a special dispensation, I think is the word, in order to build its theme parks. It's like a carved out chunk of land in order to build their city of the future, which is what Walt Disney had talked about and envisioned. But they didn't actually build their city of the future. It actually became Epcot, which is nothing like what the city of the future would have been. Instead, they built Epcot. So they have maintained this special taxed district for 60 plus years in this country, but now it looks like this may go away. So Florida gave them the special tax district, and now it looks like it's going to go away because of them sticking their foot in their mouth. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Republican-led Florida Senate passed a bill Wednesday, that will eliminate the special tax district that allows Walt Disney to govern the land where its theme parks sit. DeSantis urged lawmakers to consider this bill in special session, and he made it clear that he would sign it. Losing the nearly 40 square foot district near Orlando could be a major blow to Disney Florida's operations. This district, created in 1967, known as the Reedy Creek Improvement District, exempts Disney from a host of regulations and certain taxes and fees, allowing the company to manage its resorts and theme parks in Florida with little to no red tape in years. So this special, 40 square miles. I'm sorry, my brain is out of it, and I'll explain why in a minute. 40 square miles. Yes, this district is 40 square miles. It's a special privilege, so they're not having to pay certain fees, they're not having to pay certain taxes, and it has been said to it's been saving Disney tens of millions of dollars every single year. And that's according to a person that's familiar with the company's finances, who studied it a decade ago. So that was a decade ago, so I can't even imagine now how much it's saving them, because all that stuff has gone up. Yesterday, Disney declined to comment on this situation. Funny, they couldn't shut up about the Parental Rights and Education Bill, which is it's the real name for this bill, the Parental Rights and Education Bill, which they keep calling the Don't Say Gay bill. They had tons to say about that. They couldn't shut up about that. But now that they're actually getting the consequences to their actions, funny that, they don't have anything to say. Now they're shutting up. Maybe those consequences to sticking your nose in any political issues that don't involve you aren't so fun. Interesting. So corporations, they can get involved in politics when it involves certain, like, their actual business, but educational, social, and specific issues that don't involve them, historically, and most of the time, corporations don't get involved for this reason, because it's none of their business, and it can mess things up for them. I personally am all about the free market. I firmly believe in less taxes for businesses because it's good for the economy. But when you stick your nose in and you become a tool of the woke liberalism that's going on instead of doing what you're supposed to do, but you become a tool of the left and you want to use your massive corporation where you basically have everyone under your thumb. I mean, they have the market cornered in children's and family stuff. You want to use that to push a political agenda and force people to your will, then you deserve what you're going to get. Honestly, I say bravo to them for doing this. Bravo to DeSantis for wanting to say, you know what? You've had this special privilege, and I'm going to use a privilege of this special district that you were supposed to use to create a city of the future, and you didn't even do that. But they've allowed this for 60 plus years. And you've saved tens of millions of dollars a year because Florida allowed you to. And then you go and you just totally slander them with lies and untruths to push this radical agenda. You deserve what you get. You deserve to have that taken away and have to pay taxes and fees just like any other business in the area. It's amazing to me, and I say good for them. Good for them. Anyway, so I know we've had trouble with the internet tonight, and most of you are going to be watching this later. So please feel free, comment just like you would if we were live, because we will read them, we will respond. I'm up late, so I will be on there and answering your questions. I'd love to hear what you think about all this stuff. So we talked about Pasky and her crying like a little baby. About stuff that's not true. We talked about the mom in the public school in Texas, and Mary, I will send you that video as soon as I get out of here. And in the book that her child found, we talked about Taylor Lorenz, the horrible journalist who's terrible at her job, doxing libs of TikTok and making her life miserable while simultaneously complaining about others doing the same to her. We talked about this teacher who's throwing out random percentages that aren't true, random facts that aren't facts at all, about how using the proper pronouns can save a life, instead of discussing about the fact that maybe if we nurtured these children and taught them to love themselves no matter what, that would save their life. We talked about polycules. We learned what a polycule is, and to me it just looks like a wife who wants to cheat and has convinced her husband into allowing it and acting like he's okay with it. And also, Spencer, if you need help, please let us know. We will rescue you. And then we talked about Disney basically learning that, basically being the example of fuck around and find out. So we talked about a lot tonight, and I really want to hear what you guys have to say. I love hearing your opinions, whether they're the same or different. As always, do your research. If you want any sources, let me know, or let the boys know. Do your research. Don't listen to one source. In anything you do, look at many different media sources, just like we do, just like I did today. Look at all sides of the coin. Don't just blindly follow what I say. Don't just blindly follow what anyone says. Do your research. Learn about this stuff. And I'm telling you, if you start researching these things that I've been researching, you're going to be blown away at what's going on with our children and when we're not looking. So pay attention. Be involved. Follow what's happening. And stand up. No more just blabbing online. No more just talking about it. Stand up and do something. Join us in fighting this, because this all leads down this terrible path of everything we've been talking about the past couple months, whereas our kids get so confused that they don't know who's safe, and then before you know it, they're in the human trafficking. They're being abused, sexually abused. They're being led down this crazy path of scary stuff, you guys. And we are the ones that are here to protect them. And if we don't protect them, we're just as bad as those that are doing this. So we need to stand up. It's no more. You can't be silent anymore. It's time to do something. And also, those of you that are praying people, please pray for my grandfather. He is having a heart procedure tomorrow, and he is a young age of 82. So this is a big deal. He's been in the hospital for about 11 days now, a week here in Clackamas area, but he was in Washington until they transferred him. So that's why my brain's a little bit spacey. I've been visiting with him each day, and he's on my heart and my mind. So let's, all those of you that pray, please pray for him, that all goes well tomorrow. And we will see you guys next week. As always, be kind, be kind to each other, take care of each other, and watch out for your kids. And remember, tonight's show was Are We Losing Our Minds? After watching all this, I'd love to know what you think. Are we losing our minds, or are they losing their minds and we need to kind of fix it? I'd love to know. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.